Hello and welcome to the 2010 Sharp Eye channel. Thank you so much for joining the channel. If you haven't subscribed, just click the subscribe button and help us grow. Today we're going to talk about the game between Cameroon and Bafana Bafana. As you know, it's 2025, 2026 AFCON. It's a knockout game. It's the last 16. As you know, Bafana Bafana has gone through to the last 16. So yeah, with me here, I'm with Ubrajabu and Ubratabo. They'll introduce themselves. My name is Tulanin Lobo, also known as Nomo 2010. So, Brajabu, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers at home?
Hey, how are you, Mopoloba?
Fine, thanks, and you, man.
No. Right. Greetings to abantu bethu abasibukelayo kuma comment sections, abakommentayo. Siyababingelela bonke. I hope we're going to have a great discussion, Mopolo.
Perfect. Brajabu, ngicela ukuthi uhlehle kancane nje, just a little bit ngoba yeah, there you
Okay.
are.
Okay.
There you are. Hey, Brajabu, can you please come in, my brother? Introduce yourself to our viewers at home.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. This is Tabo from Roadport, Wilfredon. Thanks for the invite, Mapolova. I really appreciate it. And good evening to everybody. Now, Brajabu, good evening.
Hey, good evening, my leader.
Thank you, Brasivo, and thank you, Brajabu. Welcome, Afetu. Thank you so much for always making sure which you are available when I'm making my call for you, to come and analyze football. As you know,
Yes.
Sabalandeli sisonke nje basila. So there's nothing
Yeah,
formal.
sure.
You understand? There's nothing more formal. So, but then let's start with you, Brajabu. Bafana Bafana Cameroon is a tough one. A lot of people are saying which Cameroon has got a lot of overseas players, Bafana Bafana, Inabo, and all that. Only few players. What's your take on that? On that, and also, how do you think Bafana Bafana will do in this upcoming game?
Well, Mapolova, once again, let me greet everybody that is watching. But maybe before we enter into that, I had a suggestion in my mind, and I felt that maybe this is something that needs to be done.
Okay.
Now that we are in the last 16, I thought it would have been proper for SAFA to at least take plus minus 50 or 100 supporters of Ibafana Bafana to go and give those guys a boost, because I can tell you now, the 12th player in this kind of tournaments becomes very important. And I don't think we are that broke that we can't even take 20, 50 or 100 people to the tournament so that they can just rally behind the boys. So this is something that I thought, but now that we are in a top 16, which is a quite critical stage of the tournament, I thought maybe SAFA could have at least identified 100 people and take them to Morocco so that they can support our boys. But of course, it didn't happen. But this is something that I'm saying, even when we go to the World Cup, we cannot be there and have 5 fans on the stands and expect these boys to win the game when you've got thousands and thousands of people that are supporting the opponent. That on its own, it's already a defeat, Mapolov. Yeah, so I'm saying for a psychological boost, we needed something like that so that at least we can have people behind the team. But then coming back into your question, Mapolova, on paper, of course, Cameroon looks very dangerous because most of their players are playing overseas. But I want to draw your attention, Mapolova, to the game that we played against Morocco in 2013. I mean, look at the squad that was in that team, that Morocco team. You had international players only. Players that are playing for big teams in the world. But Bafana Bafana, came victorious out of that particular game. Nobody saw us coming. We have beaten Morocco 2-0. out of that game. We played with Nigeria recently, and it's a star team as well. I mean, almost everybody there, Mapoloba, plays overseas, except for Nobali that is playing here, playing for Chippa United. But they are struggling to beat this Bafana. And I'm going to tell you the secret maybe behind the Bafana team. You see, Cameroon, you'll find one player maybe was born in New Zealand, one player was born in Morocco, but in the Bafana team, we're talking about players that were developed almost together. The development into the Bafana team, I can tell you now, that is a secrecy for Bafana. Look at the players that we are using now. All of them are coming from our own structures, the developmental structures of South African football. So I think that's an edge from Bafana because it gives you what? It gives you hegemony within the players. These players understand each other, and these players understand the culture of South African football. And I think that's a secrecy for Bafana to perform so well. And I know people will say, no, but now we are going to be eliminated because we are in the last 16. This is not our first last 16, Mapoloba. Just previously in 2023, we came back with a bronze.
Semi-finals, yeah.
And yeah, we came back with a bronze. And I'll always urge with people that at that particular time, the Bafana was not as this united as it is right now because Hugo Broos was just arriving in the country. But now we're talking about the coach that has spent majority of time with the players, a coach that now understands all the personnels that are going to be on the field of play. And over above that, we also have a coach that is experienced in terms of African football. This is not a new coach. It's a coach that understands the stages. At some stage, this is a coach that has won the very same AFCON in 2017. So we're not taking chances here. Yes, we are facing Morocco, Cameroon. But the same coach that is coaching Bafana today is the same coach that has led Cameroon into the victory into the AFCON of 2017.
No, thank you, Brajabu.
Yes.
You're right. The experience will also count, in terms of our coach.
The experience will count, and let us also not forget about the history, Mapoloba, because people undermine the historical part of Hugo Broos vis-a-vis Cameroon. Yes, personnel might be different tomorrow, but the system, the structure remains the same. So we're talking about the coach that will even understand their system, their way of thinking when they approach this kind of games.
True. Thank you so much, Brajabu. You're 100% correct. Brastibo, do you have anything to add on what Brajabu has said? And also, do you think this is a big game for Bafana since the start of the tournament?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mapoloba. In any competition such as the AFCON, which you were forced to qualify for, and you've reached the competition, and you are not hosting, it's a bonus on its own. It shows the seriousness of the team and the coach.
Yeah,
that's the first point. Second point, each game that we have been playing was a serious game. There is no game that you could see and find that Bafana were not playing to their utmost capabilities. The problem is that when people criticize, they criticize not from an eye of understanding what soccer is all about. There is no game that is not a serious game when you are playing in a competition like this. The game that we are playing tomorrow is a very crucial game because also it's a last 16 game, and the nationality, the nation that we are playing, which is Cameroon. Cameroon is a giant of a team, but South Africa also in the same sentence, we are also giants on our own. And we have come far, and as Prajabu said, with an experienced coach who has taken a team which was a laughing stock, where you could find when we were playing at home, we could only find about 60 spectators who were given tickets to now finding us a sold out affair only on friendlies, which shows you that there is something that has happened in our style of play and how the players take themselves in saying, I am a South African soccer player. You understand? Whether local, whether international. The cohesion that you find there in the field of play is a marvel to watch. I always look forward to watching a Bafana play, whether they are playing home, whether they are playing away. It's something that is very, very motivating. So Hugo Bruce has done something for us, which will be forever grateful. So Cameroon on its own as a country, they themselves where they are today, they are panicking, they are shaking. They know that tomorrow we're going to give them a game. Less a criticism that you find in the space of soccer, because soccer cannot become soccer without any opinion and criticism from any football lover. But for me, this is very exciting, and I'm looking forward to watch that game tomorrow evening.
Yeah. Thanks. And who do you think it will be a key player for tomorrow's match, Bratabu?
On our side,
On our side, yeah. On our side, yeah.
Police, obviously, at the back, Mbogazi, obviously, midfield, obviously Mokoena, and if they play with Mbule. Now we must be careful when we speak about these players and understand why Hugo Bruce plays those players. If you look at the games that Cameroon has played, Cameroon has not won games with more than 2 goals. The last game that they've played, they won 2-1. And the other goal they scored that equalized was an own goal from Mozambique. So it tells you a story. Yes, they look dangerous. They've got players from overseas and all of that. But remember now, the scoreline is what makes it different. You can have 100 players from Europe, but if they don't score goals, it doesn't make any difference. So for me, tomorrow, Apolis is going to be key. Muremi is going to be key. In the midfield, I think Yaya Sithole in the previous game, I think he was fatigued. Even Muremi also, they were fatigued. That's why they didn't give up their utmost performance. Because if you remember, they played on Friday and then they had to play on Monday, which gave them only about 2 days to rest. And I think it was a short space of time. And remember now, Muremi, it's only his first time in the international arena. So it might have crept in where he got a little bit fatigued and stage fright. But I think Apolis tomorrow is going to do wonders. Because, and even our midfield, Tebogo Mokoena can give us something, because always Tebogo Mokoena is one of those players who has something special in their feet. They either can win you the game or they can make sure that we stabilize the midfield.
Perfect. Brajabu, Hugo Bruce is a coach that you'll never predict him, and we've seen in the first game, he started with Nkota. Then Nkota didn't give him what he wanted, and then he substituted him with Umuremi, who gave us something. In the second game, he put Nkota on the bench and then put Umuremi in, and then what do you think about his style of play? In terms of like selecting the players that are going to help Ibafana come tomorrow's game.
I've got a belief that you don't temper too much with the team that has been giving you results. So I'm actually suggesting that the coach should stick to his tried and tested. The back four, stick to Ngezani, because there's the CBC element. There are people who are saying no, maybe he needs to introduce Sibisi, and I don't agree with that, Mapolob, and I'll tell you why. Sibisi comes from Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
He hasn't been playing even at Pirates because Sibisi is from an injury, you know. Look into these 3 games as well. He hasn't been featured in these 3 games. Now, tomorrow, it's a game of serious intensity. You want to bring a person that has been on the bench. No match fitness, no nothing. Only, I think we'll only rely on the training sessions. But we all know that the best practice come from you playing matches. So I will stick to the same back 4, Mapoloba. I'll stick to Ngezani because one of the issues again that contributed, I think, to what one might say maybe it's a poor performance. Remember, Abongezani joined the team very late. I think they found a team in Morocco. They did not have the opportunity to train with the team. That on its own, Mapoloba, can have a negative impact towards your game as a player. But if you check all the 3 games that we have played, Ngezani has improved. When we were playing against Zimbabwe, there were 2 or 3 tackles that Ngezani, critical tackles that Ngezani made. I can tell you now, if Ngezani bekangenzanga lama tackle, easy, Zimbabwe could have won, or they could have scored goals as well. So I'll stick to Ngezani. My only worry is around the middle. What do we do tomorrow? Do we at least play with 3 defensive midfielders? I think when we are doing that, we are also trying to say Cameroon was scared of you, therefore we're giving you respect. So in my own analysis, because I think South Africa plays very good when they are an attacking team.
Exactly.
You know, defensively, I don't, this thing of transitions, I don't trust them as well. But I think we play very well when we are not showing respect to any opponent. So I'll say tomorrow, let's have a midfield that is just going to be, you know, that of an attack-minded kind of a midfield. So I'll say maybe sacrifice, stick to Mokoena because you know that's our very prominent player there. You can't play in a midfield without Umremboli. So I'll say stick to him. Maybe compromise Yaya. Give us Mbata or give us Obas. Because I've seen in a previous game, Obas came in the second half and immediately he changed the game. We started to play as a team. We started to have combinations. We started to have you know, forward passes, which is very important. So Obas can give you that, but also Mbata can give you that, and over and above that, Mbata can also give you you know, the shots, because sometimes we'll rotate the ball just in front of the goalpost. And you know, when you are sitting at home, you'll even say, hey, Pacha, man, because you can see what the ball, because sometimes you don't have to enter into the 18 area with the ball, especially when you see that there's an opportunity for you to take a shot. Mokoena used to do that, but I think his performance, or rather his the performance slightly has dropped. Sometimes there's no confidence in taking those balls. I know you used to, but when you have Mbata now, you are actually giving the Bafana the edge to take even balls outside the areas. So when it comes to Umuremi, I think he becomes very dangerous when he's from the bench. So I will say, coach, allow him to read the game. Maybe start with Nkota and introduce him in a second half. Introduce him in a second half, because I've seen even at the club level where he's playing, when he's introduced in the second half, he will definitely change the game for you. And then let's stick to Mbuli as well. You know, maybe in the second half, just after 60th minute, introduce Rile Mufokeng, because for some reasons that are known to the coach, we don't see Mufokeng anymore in the field of play, and that's a special player that can give you something out of nothing. So I'm saying, even if you were to start with Mbule tomorrow, Start with Mbule, but immediately after 60th minute, try and introduce this boy. Let's see what we can get. But let us not give Cameroon any respect, because once we begin to do that, then they're gonna come to us now, and then that's where you're going to see our players cracking mentally. Because remember, as South African footballers, we are good at attacking, but when we are being attacked, it's very difficult for us to actually absorb that pressure. We might even find ourselves committing fouls that we're not supposed to commit. So I'm saying from the word go, let's attack these guys, but also let's manage the game, because I believe in a game against Zimbabwe, we failed to do what Mapoloba, to manage the game. We score one, they score. We score two, they also score. That speaks to the organization of the game. It means we are not properly controlling the game. So tomorrow we just have to deal with what we call game management, and I'm definitely sure that we'll be able to get the results.
Thank you, Brajabu. You have touched on Rilong Fukeng. We haven't seen him, featuring that much, in the squad. And last season, he was one of those that which like he's going to come and change the game. But then who now has started not giving him that chance. Just to rope you in here, in terms of like the players that are not given enough chances. We've got two young players, Campbell and Smith, who are there for the first time. They haven't given a chance, to showcase their talent. Do you think this will kill them, or maybe it's an experience for them, for them to be on the bench, Bangadai?
Yeah, the answer there is one word. They are the future. So what Hugo Broos, I am suspecting he's doing, he's bringing in these young men to come in and experience the atmosphere from the bench. And I'm sure these boys have been told that even if you do not play, just remember there's another AFCON coming, and you are going to be the headliners of that AFCON, because most definitely those young men are brilliant soccer players. So I suspected and saw that no, kusho ukuthi uBruce ulethele intwana lezi because uyazi ukuthi noma kanjani uRille Pelé is only 20 years. So how many AFCONs does really have under his belt? How many World Cups does really have under his belt? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now, yes, we are playing certain teams that deserve certain players from us. And remember now, Bruce and Kelman and Kelele are serial analysts. Those guys, they analyze to the T. That's why you find when they pick players, they don't pick players because Pirates City is Funa Ubanban or whoever. They pick players according to what they know and their system that they want to play on the day of the game. Even tomorrow's lineup is going to be what they want, and the instruction is going to be given to the players to say, guys, grounding. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to be doing on the field of play. So the eye of the fan knows what yazi ubani bani mana akasanginike lento anginikani kanti unikwe nje instruction ukuthi wena imali yabona uma ungangimela ungivalele leso space uqedile noma ngaphela 20 minutes ntwana ungabamba ngebhola, don't worry, because that is also part of soccer where you just occupy a space as a soccer player. Because they know ukuthi untanga makamile hapa futhi ayangeke sikhona ukudlula asitshintsheni iside iseni ngale. So it speaks to the experience, it speaks to the, as we have said, it speaks to the coaching element that Bruce brings, where he knows what he wants from his players. He knows what he wants for the future of Bafana Bafana. That's why he doesn't pick certain players. I believe we can cry for a certain player, but Bruce because he knows he's got the vision of what he wants this Bafana squad to become. So I think these young men, just to answer you simply, those young men are the future, and I just pray and hope that they have been told and they have that information in their minds to say, we are the future guys. Let's relax. Let's learn as much as we can. Let's learn from your Ronan Williams. Let's learn from your CBCs. Let's learn from your Gosses, because those are the senior players. And hopefully so, they are also teaching them to say, guys, your time is coming. Relax and don't leave the negative criticism. I mean, really, guys, he's going to give us how many World Cups? I'm sure in him, if we can qualify for the next 4 World Cup, really will be there. Ronaldo's played how many World Cups? Messi has played how many World Cups? And those, and really for me, is capable, and he's the caliber of the player. Me, I believe, really can play even Bogas himself. You know what I mean? Those players, they are special players, they are special breed, who we find, you don't find them in this lifetime, who are very lucky to have those young men. So I think even Bruce himself is trying to protect those young men by saying, see the good, see the bad, and understand that when the time comes, this is how you do. And you will find that the day he puts in Campbell, you'll see a different Campbell. You'll see, hey, Campbell will learn almost. This Campbell is much sharper. He's much more experienced, much more humble, and is much more hungry to score goals, because he's been shown the ropes. You know what I mean? And what I love about these young men that are coming in, they're not too arrogant. I understand, they are very humble. They learn quickly. Even the young men from Kaizer Chiefs, they are very humble, those young men. So it means our future also as a Bafana, as a country, is bright, where when we pick these young men, we're not going to have problems. What they'll do when they go into in the field of play, they'll give us just the brilliance that they have been blessed with the Almighty, by the Almighty.
Perfect. Thanks, Brother Steve. To our viewers at home who haven't subscribed, just click that subscribe button and help us reach our milestone. Brother Jabu, in our last AFCON, there was a player that we know a lot of South Africans didn't trust, Umwana Sesi, Umakhopa. And he came in, and then, he did wonders. This year, he's not given, that chance that, he was given previously. It seems like Lyle Foster is being favored more than him and all that. Do you think him coming into the game against Cameroon might help the team to get the goals that we're looking for? Because I think we have got only 5 goals so far in those 3 games that we've played. Do you think we should also introduce him?
I think each and every player that it's in a bench, Mapoloba, will get the minutes like any other player. But the coach trusts the system now, Mapoloba. It's no longer, the Ibafana Bafana is no longer about individuals anymore. And I think as South Africans, we need to shy away from that mentality that if so and so is not there, then the team won't go anywhere. I think of paramount importance is to build a structure and to build a system before you do anything, so that when you introduce these players, all of them can fit into the system. So I think the coaches must start the system, and he knows that even if I can give Umwana Sesi 10 minutes, he will give me whatever that I want. So for now, I don't think we are that Bafana that used to rely on individuals to perform. Like I told you, Mapolob, the team is united now. There's a cohesion within the team. Anybody that has been introduced, whether for 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, that player will give what needed to be done. My only fear, Mapoloba, for tomorrow's game, we are still not convincing when we are dealing with our set pieces. We are still not convincing when we are in our own box, defending our own box. Aerially, we are not clearing the balls like we're supposed to clear them. We do what we call zonal marking. And for me, that thing is very dangerous, because I'm anticipating that you can see the opponent here, and you are also anticipating that maybe Jabu will go and attack that ball. Eventually, nobody is marking anybody, So the issue of zonal marking for me is a problem. I still wish that the coach can just tell them that, hey, masingene boxing man to man, check the person. Nalento yakudala Mapolova, you know, in the olden days, la emapalini phakathi, masinama free kick, you leave somebody just la epalini and leave somebody on the other pole, so that even if the goalkeeper is beaten, at least you still have the last defender or a last player that can clear that ball out. So those are you know skepticals when it comes to tomorrow's game. But because we have been given 6 days to prepare ourselves for this game that is coming tomorrow, I'm sure that the coach might have identified that area, and I'm sure that the coach might have you know dealt with that issue, or he might have told the boys that they aerially were not good, so and so is assigned to do what, and so is assigned to do what. So that was my concern, Uguti. We are also conceding a lot of goals, Mapolova. And if you want to win big matches, you don't consider 2 goals out of nothing, you know, because sometimes you consider 2 goals and it will be very difficult for you to come back. Look at the game against Egypt. We conceded 1-0. And to show that the you know defensive structure of Egypt is quite strong, they were playing with a 1-player shot, but we couldn't crack them. You know, so it shows that defensively they might have dealt with that to say, even if we're under a serious attack, once there's this block, nobody can break this wall. So I think that's a mentality that because by you winning big games, it means you also have to shut the back door so that you win your big games. So that's my area of concern, but I'm sure the coach and the technical team might have identified that problem, and they might have tried to mitigate that before it's too late.
Thank you so much, Brajabu. Iskati, as time flies when you're having time, when you're having
yes.
when you're enjoying when you are
sure, Mapolo.
But then lastly, Brastivo, Brajabu mentioned something important, which you know is a concern. We have conceded four goals in 3 games, and our goalkeeper is a captain. What's your message to him? You know, going to the game Yaksasa, in terms of marshalling his own defense, because we know Uchi unombogazi, unomudiba, unomutau, and then unongezana. Umutau nomudiba uyabazi from a team yakhe. But then what's your message to him in terms of making sure that he marshals that back for Ayak?
The defense, remember, is the 2 DMs that are put on the soccer field are defense. They are part of the defense, remember. So which simply means we have 6 defenders. So my message to him is he should marshal those guys. He should communicate with them. He should they should master. You know, Rajabu mentioned something about the set pieces. Yeah, we are struggling with this first pole and last pole. So I think he should have a communication where each player knows and understands where they should be put in our defense. If, for an example, we are losing the ball, people must know where to mark. They understand. They must know who to mark and how to mark, because it's very important when you are playing with such people. And what I've seen with these guys, they like to play. There's a midfielder they have that can pass beautiful balls to that number 9 of theirs. So we should be wary also of that, because if we are marking them properly, they can kill us with that style of play, even set pieces. So I think he should make sure that their defenders are switched on 95 minutes of the game. Yeah, so I think defense, Ronwene, as you said, they need to be on point. They need to be wary of those long passes. They need to be wary of the square balls, because obviously, if Sizoba Mankala pants, they're gonna start throwing balls at the center and throw balls at that striker of theirs. And let's striker sabo lesa semnani. Sinama snap. That's what Ziliana answer. So I think Batumbogazi is good enough, and I think Nolentuzan, this young man, he's also come to the party, and I'm really proud of him where he comes from, because remember this boy Magasuka like South Africa overseas. We did not. I mean, I was part of those people who loved him but did not rate him highly. But now he's showing his quality, and he's showing
Which one?
all
Which
his
one? I talking
bad.
about Ngezana.
And he's so humble. What I like about him, he's so humble,
Yeah.
and he's taking that opportunity in Amandla, and he's not letting any of us down. Every time that boy is given a chance, he comes to the party. So I think we are in safe hands. Man, looking at just to wrap up, looking at the last 3 games, Amachita wadlalile together nalesi abashaya. Phela remember the last time we played with Cameroon, we beat them. So I think SARS about it now, we are winning this one. I don't have a fear. If fear yami nje ukuthi le game idlala ebusuku kuphela, but the only I know part there. The fear I have is the game after that, Morocco kuphela, in my humble opinion.
And then on that point, what's your score prediction, Brathabo?
2-1.
2-1,
2-1.
To Bafana Bafana.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1. We're gonna win that game. Ngwanasisi might come in the second half as Nigi goal. First goal could come from a police, could come from our other striker. So I think no matter what, sorry.
Foster.
So no matter what, from Lyle. So anything that could happen tomorrow, we're winning that game 2-1. Yes, they'll be on top of us because they've got those big guys and the big muscles from Europe and so forth and blah and blah. But Hugo Bruce is capable. Helman Mkele, that's a very smart duo. And our players, remember the confidence silent analyst of it is too much. And really, I think this is his game. Right to Brachao. Second half, Faga Lintwana in 70th minutes.
Yeah.
Lezi shine ngamavala ibahli chayisane bodwa lapha ayivala goalkeeper welele, that will give us the air. And manje ngiyabaza ngithi mabase bakwathi bakapana bayenza yonke imihlobo baphana ngama penalty. So mina bafethu I don't know, mina for my mina comfortable with taking this one. The only game engathi nayo leso Vuma sithatha kudlula la sahlangana neMorocco, it's gonna be problems.
Okay, thanks, Bratibo. Brajabu, repeat up, please, and give us your score prediction.
Yeah, well, I will say, Polo, but my only fear tomorrow, Guti, Abafana bangashawa stage fright, because I think we have seen Gulama previous games, Guti, sometimes you will see Guti who have been carried by, the individual brilliance from certain players. But holistically as a team, you will find Guti Amachita, I was Laleli Gamnan. So I'm hoping Guti Kusasa lento kuthiwa stage fright ngeke ibe khona.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I said initially, if you can start from the first whistle, attacking these guys, I don't see any problem. There's a chap there, I think his name is Christine Kofani. He doesn't make taking shots outside the box. I think I hope that they have a plan for him. Because once that man is contained, we can have a bit of a breather. So his score prediction, Sami, is going to be a game of small margins. Because remember, in that stage, you don't want to create mistakes. You don't want to open the game that much. So it's going to be a very tactical game tomorrow. A game of small margins. I see Bafana either winning 2-1, 1-0, or the game might prolong to extra time and Bafana can take it on penalties. But definitely we are going to meet Morocco. And our history with North African countries. We have always beaten them. In fact, we're a hoodoo team to them. So I'm actually not scared of anything. I think we'll beat Cameroon tomorrow, and subsequently we'll have to face Morocco.
Oh, thank you very much, gentlemen. I just hope if I extra time and penalties, Because solala ngabo 2 ekuseni phela.
Yeah. But capable. Yazi emnandi ngaze if we could go to all the way to extra time. If we snap bench, our
Yeah,
bench
we
is
do.
strong.
Yeah, we do.
So I mean, even if we can go to extra time, I'm not fearful. The only and then
Yeah.
penalty in the penalties, we've got a keeper, we've got a shot
Yeah.
stopper who was to save my penalty. No more of our super chain was to save my penalty. So
Yes.
we're okay, guys. That's just I mean, I'm just positive.
Yeah.
I don't as Konabama say about so was Berlin pants, but it's fine. I know for a fact Sasa we're coming home with it.
No, true.
Thanks.
We're going to
Thanks.
the quarterfinals. We're going to the quarterfinals.
Perfect, Buffett. Thank you. And then I like that positivity. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Let's meet again after this match and dissect what our mistakes and last win. But yeah, all in all of it, thank you so much for making sure you are available every time getting of it.
Thanks,
Okay.
thanks, Mr. Polo.
Yeah, thanks, man. To our viewers at home, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, just click the subscribe button, comment below, and also like the video, and also share it to your friends. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. Hey, tada.